Hey guys, welcome back. I'm Brent, and right now I am in front of the bridge at Blackstone River State Park. This is in Lincoln, Rhode Island. Look at this architecture right here. This looks like something from ancient Rome. This right here is the Blackstone Canal. This was constructed in 1828. This goes all the way up into central Massachusetts, actually. We were at the Blackstone Canal Heritage Park earlier in this series, and this is the same one. There is a tow path, which was an old animal barge where they would bring boats down this canal before there were train tracks, and they would bring them by working animals, beasts of burden they were called, like steer or ox, would tow the boats down this canal with ropes. So that's some pretty cool history. So the bridge above us is Rhode Island Route 116, also known as George Washington Highway. And yeah, you can see it's a very large bridge. It's actually the same one that goes over the Smithfield Scenic Trail, or the Stillwater Scenic Trail rather, that we had also filmed. I want to start this hike by going down this angle, this trail first. This is straight in front of the original parking lot. And then we're going to go down the actual bike path all the way down into Central Falls area, where there's going to be some old ruins of the mills that were here on this train track system. Speaking of mills, this is the Kelly Mill. I guess it was built across from the Ashton Mill, which came later. So yeah, Wilbur Kelly, he was a captain, I guess, like a sea captain, and he ended up having a lot of influence over the area. He built a lot of these old mills, and I guess this is where the mill was, the original Kelly Mill. These posts right here. Yep. Okay, so this is very interesting. Right here we got some mill foundation. Here's the wood. Here's the mound. All right, this is the site of the original Kelly Mill, and so the Ashton Mill is actually that one that's over there with the smokestack. We will walk by that area and we'll check that out. So it looks like that's still here today, and this Kelly Mill is gone. Was it burned down? Let's find out. Yeah, rectangular footprint. So they started doing this in the early 1800s. I don't know if this mill was burned down or not, or if they just destroyed it. I'm assuming they actually probably just destroyed it because this is a pretty popular park and they didn't want the ruins that people can get hurt on hanging out. What's up with this tree? That's a big old tree. Wow. All right, let's see what's at the end of this park, and we will turn around and we will hike the other way. All right, so I did some investigating online, and it does turn out they did dismantle the Kelly Mill, so that was not burned down. They just took it down, and they're saying it's going to be about 4 miles from the start of the park, which is over there, to the area in Central Falls where we're going to hike to. That means we're going to do a total of 8 miles apparently out and back. So let's see if that's true. I do have the counter on so we can find out how many miles we did today, but take a look at this view before we even get into that, because this is cool right here. Here's the actual Blackstone River. What we saw before and what we actually saw for the majority of the video at the Blackstone Canal Heritage Park was the canal, not the river. I was mistaken, and those were the tow paths, not the train tracks. So right here is the actual Blackstone River. You can see that waterfall. And there's the George Washington Bridge and the Ashton Mill. But yeah, let's go keep walking to the end and see what's over there. Here's an interesting fact for you too. I found out recently is that Rhode Island actually has the rivers they're called lampreys. They're like these eels that are like almost like a giant leech. They suck the blood of the fishes, and apparently they're an invasive species or they're an endangered species. I can't figure out the truth. I'm getting conflicting information, but Rhode Island waters have lampreys, which I'll show you what they look like. I'll put a picture up. Pretty crazy. take a look at this old bridge right here. Okay, this shows you the start of the Blackstone River Park up in Woonsocket, actually, and it goes all the way down to Central Falls. We're starting over here, and we're gonna hike all the way down here. So, National Historic Places of the United States Department of Interior. Very cool. Okay, we're coming up on like another little part of the actual canal over here. Look how much more still the water is on this side than it is on this side. It's that raging river over there. I'm seeing some stone ruins over there too by the coast, so I can't tell if that could be from the original mill or not. I do have the metal detector in case I see an area that might look cool to see what's up. Maybe we can find some ancient metals. And that really pisses me off, all that plastic over there, guys. That's really sad how people just pollute the area. I mean, the only thing that I would hope is that somebody collected all the trash and put it there, and they're gonna come back and get it later, but geez, no, that's a lot of plastic. You know, I actually did hear that the Blackstone River is, or was at one time, the most polluted river in the country, the US, because of the mills that were here, how they just dumped all their material into this river for pretty much a century or more. But it's slowly being restored and cleaned up. It looks like we're walking to the end over here where there's a dam. What's this? Dual purpose. Yeah. They're saying right here what I was saying earlier, how this was a barge. And see how the animals are over here in the corner. They're towing the boats. So that's pretty cool. Look at the knot in the tree. Look at the waterfall. And wow, look at this prehistoric looking rock. We're gonna go all the way to the end over here. This is where the trail stops. That looks like a jungle right there with that canal, and then also the huge stones. Oh wow, so you can actually see where the river flows into the canal. Let's go this way. So right now I'm trying to see if I can get around the gate so I can go check out and get a better view of the canal. Okay, so that's the dam right there. You can see they relocated all those rocks to block up the water flow. Oh geez, it is slippery over here. I don't want to end up falling down there. That would be terrible. I don't even know how deep it is over here either. Let's find out. Alright, so I was looking it up. Apparently most of the river is only about 5 or 6 feet deep. So yeah, if I fell from this height, that would really suck because I'd probably hit the ground. But some parts, I guess, like probably down that way past the dam, can get up to 15 feet deep. But that's just an exception, I guess, where the areas have been dammed up. Speaking of the dam, let's walk by, and then I'm gonna have to go back around, I guess, to get around this gate. It's strange, like they built the gate all the way around this side so you can't get to this part of the dam, but then they unfinished it there. So yeah, you can just walk and get to the side. You just gotta walk longer. Look at that though, that raging waterfall. And yeah, it looks like there's some trash in there too. Damn. So let's go by the raging waterfall. Look at that, there's like an old piece of metal here from the construction of this dam. So we're gonna walk around and we'll get back on the path, and if I see anything else cool on the way to the main trail, then I will film it. Otherwise, let's just walk and get to the actual Blackstone River bike path. Yeah, you can see all the old materials, these steel beams and the wooden stairs that lead down to the canal. So here's some poison ivy right here, leaves of 3. Those are big ones too. You can see the oils on them. Alright, so right now we're going to get on the main bike path that is over here. This one starts in Woonsocket and we'll go all the way to Central Falls. We're going to first walk past the Kelly House Museum, which is that guy Wilbur Kelly I told you about. I guess he started off as a sea captain in the early 1800s and then somehow became involved in the mill industry in New England. So he developed a lot of this land, and they made a museum dedicated to him. It says it's open. I guess we can go inside and check it out, right? Oh, look at the squirrel. Is this him? Yeah, so this is the Wilbur Kelly. Funny looking guy, according to the painting. Imagine if he really did not look like that and the painter just got his facial features wrong. But yeah, alright. I guess he owned this land and he thought that this would make a good place to start a mill. Let's go check out inside. The door's open. Alright, so we walk inside the museum. You can see here there's a little map of the entire Blackstone River complex. Starts up in Leicester near Worcester, goes all the way down to Central Falls and eventually Providence, where it spills out into Narragansett Bay. Looks like that was part of the cleanup, trying to get rid of all the pollution. There's some old images of what the mills used to look like around the river. And look at that, these old cars. There's the train that used to take the train tracks. Lots of historical photos here for sure. Yep, there was the old barge ship that was carried by the animals for the towpath, as explained on the canal. There's some of the old stone structures, remains of the mills. And yeah, it's a pretty beautiful museum. You get to see a lot of history of what the Blackstone really looked like. Look at this guy. Okay, so yeah, it looks like in the 1600s they first discovered that there was limestone in the southern New England area, and that's why they started quarrying or mining all the lime rock. This is the cotton mills. Samuel Whipple. There's a Whipple Hill in Smithfield. That must be named after him. Alright, let's keep going. Check these out. These are yucca plants. These are usually a desert or subtropical plant, but they do grow here in southern New England. I think this is their limit north. And what is this? This is something from the old mill days. Some kind of metal post. Speaking of mills, that's the Ashton Mill, which is now condos, I believe. And then this is a foundation for another mill right here. Which one was this? Tenement site. Oh, it's actually where the mill workers would live, I guess, for a period of time. There is a a sign that we can learn more about over here. And here's the towpath. That's what I said earlier. This is the area where they would bring the ships down using the animals. Let's see what we got over here. Ashton Meadow. Oh yeah, some of the local wildlife, snapping turtles, eastern bluebirds, the ducks. So this meadow, I guess, was formed in between the canal and the actual river. We're gonna stay on the towpath here and walk by the barn. This barn's been up since the 1800s apparently. I'm not sure if they had restored it. They had to have maintained it since then. It's like seeming dark out today. It's not horrible weather. I mean, it's not really raining or even misting right now, but it is just overcast. Maybe it's only about like 60 degrees. You know, it's June. This is not summer weather for sure. I don't know what's going on. So what's over here? Yeah, barn. Okay, that's the only information we have, I guess. Just says barn. But this is the barn. Look at this place. So this is nice. It's like a little combination between urban exploration and hiking today. We're seeing all these old remains of these buildings, foundations. There's going to be more. We're actually going to see some crumbling remains as long as it didn't take them down at the end of this trail. Let's go check out this machinery down here. And we're going to do a little drop. Ugh. Oh yeah, you can see how the summer really started to grow, all the weeds, because last time I was here these weren't here. But this thing right here, I guess, is an old plow. Somebody told me. I had a video earlier asking what this was. Cool. All right, let's continue on past the barn. I don't know what's in there. I'm gonna see if I can try to extend the camera up. All right, we're gonna extend the camera up to the window and see if we can see inside. I don't know if there's anything, if you can see anything, or if it's just a reflection. I'm not very tall, unfortunately, so I can't really reach up there. Oh, I guess I could just do this. Oh, that ain't gonna reach. That was even harder. All right, well, we'll see later on if we can find anything that was caught on camera. So we're gonna continue down this old towpath right here, and then we're gonna link up the actual bike trail, which was the old railroad system. They paved it over and they made it hiking and biking. And that's where we're just gonna follow straight for miles and miles until we feel like turning around. Eventually it's gonna cross another street, and that's probably where we're gonna turn around at the parking lot in Central Falls. But we'll find out how many miles we get. I don't know, it could be anywhere between 4 to 8. Probably closer to 8 when all is said and done, because we're also gonna go off the beaten path a bit and check out some of these side trails like this one. All right, we're now on the main bike path, so let's go down this way and see what's up ahead. So this main path is paved all the way down, so if you don't want to walk over uneven ground, or if you are not wearing a good pair of hiking shoes and you spontaneously want to go for a walk, it's a good place to do that. There are some trails that splinter off the side, which we are going to go to because there's an abandoned pump house. They used to pump the water from the canal out, apparently. So we're going to go check that out. And then we're going to follow this all the way to the Central Falls parking lot, where we're going to see some of these old mill ruins. Something's over here. We should go check this out. See where this leads. Look at these big trees right here. These look like cypress trees. The way the base is. It's very cool. Oh, there's a lot of different trails in here. Let's follow it to the river. It looks like there's some construction going on up ahead. Those ancient roots. Who knows how old these trails are? I don't know if these are going to lead to the pump house actually. If they do, then that's pretty cool. I don't need to get back on the paved road again. Oh geez, it's getting rough terrain. Ugh. I don't know how far in I'm going to be able to go. We'll see. This is the jungle. Okay, so it looks like if I keep following this path, it is going to bring back to the main trail. There is another way that you can get to the pump house if you follow it. Okay, I'm seeing some stairs over here. Alright, let's go up these stairs again. Or for the first time, actually. That's a cool shot right there. It looks like a slow river just carving through the rocks. It looks like from the start of the trail in Woonsocket to here, it's 10.5 miles. There's a little side path up this hill. Look how the vines are growing under this bridge, like nature taken back. Oh jeez, just stepped in that thing. This bird right here has got something in his mouth. It's like guarding like a bug, it looks like. He's got like a little moth. All right, it's starting to rain a little bit too. Look at this big thing. Oh fuck! Oh shit! Oh, that thing scared the hell out of me. It's a water moccasin. Wow! I can see his tail right there still. Whew. He's in those bushes somewhere. That's crazy. That thing frightened me. That's gonna be crazy to watch later. I found the snake. He's right there in the water. Look at that. Look how he swims. So that was crazy. That was definitely a black water snake for sure. Now there's a legend or a mythos that there's water moccasins or cottonmouth snakes in southern New England, Connecticut, and Rhode Island. That has never been proven, but you know, that looks pretty cool to see, regardless if it was a water snake or not. All right, let's walk down this way and see if we can find anything cool. All right, so deep down this trail, we got this abandoned ruin right here. It's filled with poison ivy and weeds. I'll see how far in I can get. I want to see what this is, or what this was at least. This looks like something like very dystopian, almost from like some like kind of brutalist culture. What is this? Or what was this? Ugh, it looks almost like a big dumpster. Let's go this way because I saw the abandoned pump house we can go check out. The bugs are getting really bad now, especially over here, which I'm kind of getting a little antsy to get back on the open trail to get away from these bugs. Look at the size of that mushroom growing on that tree. Wow. That's a fungus. Okay, right there's the abandoned pump house. We're gonna go inside there and check that out. Looks like there's even like a little chimney. They must have expelled any excess moisture or steam. Look at that. We're gonna go inside that. Look at these flowers too, these beautiful wildflowers growing. There's an old bolt, it looks like. Wow. I don't know what this foundation was. Some of these flowers are white and some are purple. Okay, how are we gonna get in here? Little path. So when I was in here, I remember part of the ceiling was collapsed and you could see right inside. Hello? All right, so we're in front of the abandoned pump house. It's darker than I remembered. No, there's the hole in the ceiling. That shoe was there last time I was here. Look at that, the old breaker. Wow, this is crazy. You can see the gauge. Look at that machine. I don't know what any of these machines were. I don't know if people have been living in here or not either. Well, let's keep going. Well, that's something right there. All right, these bugs are really bad. Let's get back on the main trail. All right, so we just finished the pump house. That was pretty cool to check that abandoned place out. Right now I'm just gonna follow the bike path all the way down, and if anything else cool comes up, we'll check it out. And that's pretty cool right there. You can see the little leaves or pollen all over the trail. We've got a big turtle on that log over there. That looks like a painted turtle and not a snapping turtle, because you can tell by the yellow bands on its head. I can't believe how buggy it is out right now. I was planning on maybe doing a double hike and going to the Cumberland Monastery trail after this, but the amount of mosquitoes and the humidity might be a little bit too much. I should still get, you know, around 8 miles from this one trail today, so that should be a sufficient exercise, but we'll see how the day goes. There's another big painted turtle right there. Those things are big. Look at those little flowers. And there's the canal. Oh, there's bugs. We're still going. I don't even believe we're halfway to my destination yet. And then I gotta walk all the way back after this. But that's a good thing. Good to move. Yeah, there's some of the bugs. Look at all that pollen on the ground. Look at a crow. Wow, look at that view up there. You can see the river to my left. The canal is on my right. It just looks really cool. So this is something cool over here. We take a little left on this side of the bridge and it looks like it's almost completely dammed up. There's another dam. Let's take a look over here. Those plants growing in the woods, looking like a jungle. And then speaking of the jungle, you come up on these Aztec ruins over here. Wow. So this part of the river looks like it's just completely dammed up right now. Can't even see the other side. I can hear a waterfall though. It sounds like there's one over there somewhere. Huh. Cool. It's crazy how much abandoned man-made structures you can find out here. All right, let's get back on the trail. Look at these dandelion seeds, it looks like. All right, so it looks like we're coming across the other parking lot over here. I still don't think this is exactly where I was trying to go for my endpoint, but this is another parking lot. Let's go take a look. We'll see where it's heading and if I think I'm in the right place or not. Wow, look at that. And there's the river again, raging now. Oh, that's cool. That's a good view. Look at the little island. Pedestrian light vehicle, maximum load 15 tons. I wonder how many normal sized people that is. Well, let's keep walking this way and see which parking lot we're going to be at. The weather so far has been holding up okay. It is a little drizzly, but not intense. Just a little bit buggy, as I had said. So right now, I think if you take a right, that leads to a different parking lot, and straight will go to the trails again and another tow path. So let's see what we got. And all right, yeah, it is starting to drizzle a bit. Hope it doesn't rain any heavier than this. What do we got here? Danger, no trespassing. This bridge must not be safe anymore. Oh, it's not. There's a big hole in it. I don't think that that was the area that I was going to. Can I get around? The trails link up, I think, from the other side, so let's go this way. Wow, look at that raging river. That's crazy. All right, going to the other side of the parking lot. This is starting to look like it is the terminus of the trail that I was hiking on. And it's gonna pick up again across the street somewhere. Yeah, there were old mills down this way actually, but it looks like that they have them fenced off now with that no trespassing sign that wasn't up there before. Let me see if there's any other way to get a good view of them. I remember too, there was like old like train carts somewhere in the woods over here. Also, they must have been left over from the original train tracks. Let's go check this out. Here we go, there's a path. Wow, look at the bent fence. Okay, I'm starting to see some ruins of the old mills across. This was where they were, I believe. Look at this. There's some kind of tarp. Wow, there's the old trains. These old train carts in the woods. Isn't that crazy? Let's see if we can get a better view of them. Looks like it gets turned around here. Oh, there's old bricks. So this could have been a foundation. Oh shit, there's a mill over there actually. Let's go take a look. Look at that. Old train tracks. And the old carry, or the carts I used to carry. And this is getting pretty desolate. I'm gonna see if I can go around the other way where the train tracks are and get to that mill, because I can't really make it this way. This was definitely some kind of a foundation, you can tell. So that would lead to that mill over there, which I'm gonna try to get around. Oh yeah, there's even a fence too that blocks it. This might be better to come back in the winter when these poison ivy plants aren't here. But this was something. Let's go see if we can get closer to these train carts. Can I go this way, or do I have to go around? Yeah, I gotta go around. Oh, maybe they aren't train carts because they got wheels, like tractor trailer wheels. That's interesting. Yeah, these are not for trains. These are tractor trailers. I don't know why they're abandoned here in the woods. It's strange. Let's see. What was this place? Oh. All these empty carts. I don't know if this is like an abandoned rest stop, but this is crazy. I'm just curious as to when this ends. And what was this place? Are they just using it to store all this junk now? Okay, there's the abandoned mill. That's what I wanted to see. Wow. There's an old path over there too we'll follow. Look at that. It's crazy, those doors. All these relics that were lost to time. And this place has been abandoned for a while with all the graffiti. Nope, all these windows are boarded up, so I'm not gonna be able to see anything in there. It's still interesting to see this though, in general. Let's see where the path goes down that way. So optimally, I'd like to get back out to the parking lot, which is just over that fence. I hope that this isn't gonna be some wild trail that's gonna make me go all the way around the fence. We'll see if there's a break in the fence somewhere, because I really don't want to walk back through that buggy woods. There's another mill building right here. This one's a bit smaller actually, and I don't see any window or anything I can look in again. But wow, look how the door is completely overgrown. Okay, here's the parking lot. Good, they don't make you walk all the way through the fence area. I can go back out that way, but before I do, let's keep going a bit further down the path and see what else is over here. This just looks like it's some kind of a big dumping ground where they just leave all their junk, or everything that was left over from the industrial age. Oh no, this might be an active parking lot for trailers. I can see there's a camper there with a car. That alien looks cool. Alright, let's turn around and I guess we're gonna head back.
Yeah, an otter. What is that? You think it's either an otter or a muskrat. Oh, that's actually pretty cool. Oh, look at him, how cute.
Alright guys, so check it out. I'm on the way back right now, and here's the snake again. So let's try to get a better look and see what this thing is. Whoa, there he goes. And there he goes, swimming in the water. Look at the little chipmunk. Scurrying up the tree. Guys, check it out. There's a great blue heron over there. That's that bird. Very cool. So that bird right there, that's a great blue heron, and it's a beautiful animal. Look at the neck. I'm going to zoom in so you can see him better. There's the great blue heron right there. It's got that long neck and that cool sharp beak. Very awesome bird. There he is. That's cool. So I had said earlier in the video that this was one of the most polluted rivers in the country. I don't know about the world. I think there's a couple more I can think of, but look how bad it was. Yeah, looks like they just dumped old cars here in the 50s. All the tires. So for about 200 years, industrial mills dumped waste into these waters. Yeah, that's crazy. So it's not as bad today, but apparently it's still pretty polluted. More turtles hanging out on that log over there. There's been a lot of animals on this hike today. There's some ducks, or a duck. Alright guys, so I'm on the way back right now. It was cool, we got to see some interesting animals. Saw an otter, the turtles, the snake, there's a little duck flapping around. So yeah, I'm probably gonna just head back and get some lunch. The sun's been coming in and out, but overall it was a nice hike. Unfortunately, my step counter shut off, so I don't know the exact number of miles, but I do believe that from the area that I went to and back, it's probably anywhere between 6 to 8. So yeah, heading back now. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, because there's going to be a lot more content coming soon, and I can't wait to share with you these hikes. Have a great night.